He is in the kitchen. He is fixing Din Din. Good evening, beloveds. I'm catching up because I forgot last night. So I did yesterday's this morning, and I'm doing this morning's tonight. Which thankfully I remembered to do it before tomorrow. So otherwise I'd just put myself a day behind. So I'm catching up. And Tom just came in from work. And Foster is in here with me. But Tom is in there fixing dinner for them. They're all elderly. Every one of my cats is over the age of 10, which puts them in the senior category. And so they get wet food in the morning so that we can give them lysine, and then we give them wet food at night, and we're sneaking probiotics in their food now, because they're elderly and need a little extra nutrition. So he's chatting about that. He hasn't abandoned me yet, though. He's still in here with me. But that is Foster. Okay. So the interesting thing is yesterday was an Ernest, this morning, yesterday, which I did this morning, was an Ernest Holmes reading. And tonight, this is also an Ernest Holmes reading. So we got 2 Ernest Holmes readings in a while. And while the light is good, I'm still gonna occasionally, especially with Ernest making up words, I want to make sure that I can see what I'm talking about. All right. It is October 16th. Our title is The Spirit Goes Before Me. And the quote is, "The Spirit of God hath made me, and the breath of the Almighty hath given me life." And that is Job 33:44. Yes. Good is at the center of everything, regardless of its seeming absence. But this good must be recognized. Since there is but one Spirit, and this Spirit is in you and in everything, then everywhere you go, you will meet this Spirit. This one Spirit, which manifests itself in and through all, including yourself, automatically adjusts parts to the whole. Therefore, you may accept the positive certainty that Spirit within you does go before you and prepares your way. Your faith is placed in something positive, certain as the laws of life, exact as the principle of mathematics, ever present like the air you breathe, ever operating in the law of gravitation. I know that the Spirit within me goes before me, making perfect, plain, straight, easy, and happy the pathway of my experience. There is nothing in me that can obstruct the divine circuit of life, of love, of beauty, of truth. My word dissolves every negative thought or impulse that would throw a shadow of unbelief across the threshold of my expectation. I lift my cup of expectation. Nope, I lift my cup of acceptance, knowing that the divine outpouring will fill it to the brim. I identify myself with the living Spirit, and with all the power, all the presence, and all the life there is. All right, I'm going to go back to this one line. This one Spirit, which manifests itself in and through all, including yourself, automatically adjusts parts to the whole. I think I hesitate to call it a mistake, but one of the ways that we do operate is that we have this tendency to think of ourselves as a separate unit. Okay? And in the long run and in the short run, we are not. We are not a separate unit. This separation, that idea of being a separate unit, is an illusion. And that is probably the underpinning of what Ernest has been trying to say since he started this. I think he published the first one in 1927. Okay, the textbook in 1927. So when he got started, that's what he's trying to say, is the separation is an illusion. It's one whole system. It's one whole system. There is nothing outside the system, and it is one whole system. And so what that sentence to me said, adjust the parts to the whole. When we are cooperative, when we are in alignment, when we know who we are, when we let that spirit that we are made of flow through us, then that spirit will, one, adjust us to the whole so that we fit better. But it will also adjust the environment around us. It will adjust the whole to us. Okay? It'll adjust all of the parts so that the whole system works. And we are just one of those parts. And so when we are cooperative, when we recognize ourselves as part of the whole, then we will allow spirit to adjust us for a better fit. Okay? And that takes nothing of our agency away. That takes nothing of our agency away, because it's about being alignment. It still means that we get to make all of the choices that we want to make. But one of the things that I think we frequently trip over when we're making those choices is that we're making those choices from the illusion of separation. And when we make choices as recognizing that we are part of a greater whole, then I think we make better choices. That is speculation on my part. That is supposition on my part. But that's one of the things that I have to make the best decision for me, but I also recognize that I am part of a greater whole. And so that's one of the reasons why we talk about when you're making a decision and you want to check that decision, you want to look at who it benefits and who it harms. Okay? Because if you're making decisions in community, in the greater whole, then ideally you will harm none, including yourself. Now, you may only benefit you, and that's okay. That is definitely okay. But if we harm any part of the whole, then we're harming the whole, including ourselves. So, and I think that's why that sentence resonated with me. When we are in alignment with the Spirit, when we are in alignment with the idea of God, when we are flowing in that divine pattern, then the Spirit will adjust us, but the Spirit will also adjust the environment around us. It will give us the guidance that we need to adjust the environment around us, or it will simply just adjust the environment around us. And sometimes the only thing we need to adjust the environment around us can be a shift in attitude, a shift in our own attitude. And that's one of the things that I've frequently come up against in my lifetime, in my life, is that I'm already in the perfect situation. What needed to change was me. And when my attitude shifted, everything around me shifted too, and you can find that if you're working with, and I don't want to use the word difficult people, but interesting people. And sometimes all it takes is a shift on your part, and suddenly they're no longer difficult to work with. It's like, oh, okay, and it's just a change in perspective. Nothing about them may have changed. But that shift in your attitude, that shift in your perspective, shifted everything, and things got easier for you. And so that's where we're at. It's like, oh, okay. All right. So, I don't even now remember what the title was. Hang on. Let me go back and look at the title. Let me see if I've said what I wanted to say. The Spirit goes before me. So the Spirit goes before me. So I'm just really struck by that one line. A reminder, because that's what we talked about yesterday. We talked about being free. The Spirit being free. My spirit is free. When we know who we are, our spirit is free. When we know who we are, when we recognize that we're part of a greater whole. And the amazing thing about the spirit that we're made of and from is it will adjust the parts. It will adjust the parts. And sometimes that means us, and sometimes that means our environment, and sometimes it means both. Frequently it means both. When 100 years ago when I was in college, I wanted to be a mechanical engineer. And, if one part isn't working, the whole system's off. So that's interesting. It will, the spirit will absolutely adjust the parts to fit the whole. And so we don't have to worry about fitting in. We don't ever have to worry about fitting in. What we get to work on is knowing who we are. And when we know who we are, then the environment around us will adjust to fit us. And that's just really cool. All right. So the mission today, should we choose to accept it? I think that's it. The mission today, should we choose to accept it, is to know fully who we are and to understand that the spirit within us will adjust the parts to the whole. And that can mean us, that can mean the environment that are around, that is around us. That's it. Know who you are. Know the spirit that goes before you. That is the spirit that you're made of, from, and by. Know who you are. And remember that spirit can and will adjust the parts to the whole. So, I think that's a very comforting thought for me, which is why I just leaned into that one sentence. He said a bunch of amazing things. It's actually a really short reading. He said a bunch of amazing things in that one, but it's just that one line that I leaned into. I absolutely leaned into. This one spirit, which manifests itself in and through all, including yourself, automatically adjusts parts to the whole. So the mission today, should you choose to accept it, is to recognize that one spirit and allow it to adjust you to the whole. You're part of a greater whole. You're part of a greater whole. Recognize that that you as a separate unit is an illusion. So, and again, as I said, it takes nothing away from your own agency. You are still welcome to choose, make your path in life, do what you want to do. But as you recognize who you are, you don't have to fit in. Spirit will adjust the world to fit you when you come into alignment with it. All right. Okay. Wow, you have glorious sabers. You're the only one who has not gotten your claws clipped. Okay. So that's the mission today, which was involved. Involved. The other mission is the same mission I give you every day. Do something loving for yourself. Do something kind for yourself. Do something compassionate for yourself. Whatever that looks like. Which, in this case, might look like going to bed early. Although I did take a nice, deep, good nap this afternoon. That was definitely... Every now and again, right now, I take Sunday naps. Usually, I take Saturday naps. But Saturday, I had other commitments. So, I took the Sunday nap. Know who you are. Do that loving, kind, compassionate thing for yourself. Practice on yourself. You are the best place to practice that. It is a spiritual practice. It is about knowing who you are. It is about self-care. It is about enjoying life. It is about creating a habit, a first response, a default setting. It's about creating a bank of love, of kindness, of compassion. You deserve your own love. You deserve your own kindness. You deserve your own compassion. Always. Always. And that is how we make a world that works for everybody. You know, I've talked about that spirit that adjusts the parts to the whole. Well, love, kindness, and compassion are one of the ways that we can support the spirit in doing that. Okay? So take the nap, take the walk, eat the amazing food, enjoy the cup of coffee, enjoy the silence, enjoy the noise, enjoy the whatever it is. But practice on yourself. Remember that practice makes permanent. There was a quote today about good is better. Go back, scroll back one thing. See the quote from Saint Jerome about better is best. Okay. Getting better every day in every way. So, yeah, I'm clearly tired. So, I've said enough. All right. Here's where I do when it's in the morning. I remind you to do something to engage your mind and your body. I remind you to drink plenty of water, which I have not done enough of today, so I need to do a little bit more of that. To get that early in your day bright light to reset your circadian rhythms, and to open the windows of your soul and allow the breath of heaven to remind you do live in heaven. Right here, right now, it is all around you. It is a superpower that we all come pre-installed with. Connect with the source of our own being, know who we are, and then we can create heaven on earth. So that's the words of Ernest, and then you can take Emma's advice about in creating Ernest's heaven by looking for the good and praising it, whatever that good looks like for you. I met somebody today, and she called me the funny one, and I was just like, all right. And I met her before online, but I actually got to meet her in person, you know, and as Jessie likes to say, we threw a hug on her. So it was neat. And she called me the funny one. And I was like, okay, I'll take that. I appreciate being funny. So, yeah. All right. So look for the good and praise it. Social media bit. We are Creative Life Spiritual Center, Creative Life Spark. I'm the running Rev Ryan on the social medias that I am on, so feel free to check those out. I'm particularly, as I've been saying lately, proud of the playlists on YouTube. I work very hard to cross-post things so that you can find whatever it is that you're looking for. So please check those out. You want to know what's going on with the center, with what classes we have coming up, the show that we have coming up, the food market with the Montgomery County Food Bank coming up. If you're interested in any of that, email info@creativelife.org. That will get you on the Constant Contact, and the Constant Contact, the hot links are hot. They will take you right to where you want to know, where you want to go for the information you want to know. All right. I think I've said what I need to say. I'm going to, even though I know it's 10 minutes to 10 p.m., I am going to encourage you to have a great day, a wondrous day, a fantastic day, a magical day, an enchanting day, a wondrous day, a wonder-filled day, an amazing day, a good day. And if that is too much pressure, simply have a day, because you are enough just as you are. You are a beloved child of God in whom God is well pleased and well represented. Always. It is a state of grace. And occasionally we need to meditate on that state of grace. In fact, it would be a good thing to meditate on that state of grace every day. Because it's who we are. Part of a greater whole. And parts that are willing to be shaped by the Spirit within us. So, all right. Well, normally I would say Reverend David will be on with you around 5 p.m., but since it's 10 o'clock at night, that means I will see you at 9 o'clock tomorrow morning, and then Reverend David will see you at 5 o'clock in the afternoon. Take care of yourself. Know that you are loved always, always. And I will see you next time.